I'm sorry I met someone I connected with, but Domingo is in the past.
Kelsey, I'm here.
Saturday Night Live is coming to the UK this March, and the first cast has now been announced. As a 50-year institution so intrinsically linked to the US, critics are already questioning whether the format will translate for British audiences, and that scepticism has only intensified with the release of the cast list. It was assumed that the SNL UK lineup would include the same rotation of names that pop up on panel shows, or at least have one big name hook from the heyday of the 1990s sketch shows like Bob Mortimer or Paul Whitehouse. However, to the general public, the entire cast are completely unknown, but that's not as negative as you might think. Saturday Night Live UK will replicate the popular US format, featuring the opening monologue, live sketches, and a musical act, but reimagined through a British lens. The executive producer tasked with bringing the show to air is James Longman, who has previously worked on the Friends reunion, Nevermind the Buzzcocks, and The Late Late Show with James Corden. Yet when the cast was announced to the press, the predictable tired reaction rolled in from armchair critics across Twitter, as it always does with new cast lists. Never heard of them. Out of the 11 cast members, only a select few may ring a faint bell for hardcore British comedy fans, including Anya Magliano, recognisable from Taskmaster or the Frank Skinner podcast. If you're a serial swiper of Instagram Reels, you may recognise Al Nash. Annabelle Marlowe appeared in Six, playing Catherine Howard, the ex-wife of Henry VIII, albeit the musical theatre and non-headless version. Larry Dean popped up on an episode of QI recently, speaking about negging dates with Sandy Toksvig. While these previous appearances may not be enough to grip the masses into watching the first episode, this is an exciting move in British comedy, one that could seriously pay off for the performers and the audience in the end.
Another bad day for Dennis. All I got in tips was 12 cents and this note that said, "You ruined my day."
Routes into British comedy have been shrinking for years, and unless you charmed your way into Oxbridge, they were sparse to begin with. The esteemed Cambridge Footlights has long acted as a cronyistic pipeline, sending students who had the time and money to study silly walks alongside their subjects straight onto BBC primetime. The list of alumni is as prestigious as the university itself. Stephen Fry, Olivia Colman, John Oliver and Emma Thompson, all of Monty Python, House MD, Borat, even the in-betweeners were in the Footlights. Comedian and actor Tim Key, who recently starred in The Office spin-off The Paper, actually pretended to attend the college just to secure a place in the club. The Footlights still provides a guaranteed launchpad into the industry. Even SNL's Anya Magliano was a member. The alternative route lay in Scotland at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Of course, you'd still have to fund a venue, spend hours handing out flyers, and have the same spare time to develop an act, but it was where promoters spent August trying to find the next TV comic. Sofa surfing for extortionate rent was a short-term inconvenience, if that meant securing a spot next to Russell Howard on Mock the Week. Being picked up at the Fringe usually translated into appearances on panel shows like Would I Lie to You, 8 out of 10 Cats and Have I Got News for You, before graduating to Britain's only stand-up programme, Live at the Apollo, by which time enough people remembered your name that you could have a semi-sold-out tour around regional theatres. As Mock the Week ended in 2015, there was a growing trend in bookers relying heavily on established acts and comedy-adjacent figures like actors and broadcasters to fill TV spots. And by the time the pandemic hit, they had a new way of finding up-and-coming comedians, but now from home with audience analytics up front. TikTok and Instagram Reels are a wealth of comedy talent, and the barrier to creating your own sketches has never been lower. Privilege was once part of the job spec for British comedians, but now almost everyone has a phone and can make jokes to the world about whatever they like. The stage doors have been opened for the working class and more diverse creators who previously would never have been seen in the Footlights or Edinburgh bubble. The announcement of the Saturday Night Live UK cast signals another encouraging step towards new voices in UK comedy. With the lineup being mostly unknown, it's exciting for viewers to discover new favourites, be exposed to new styles of humour, and for performers to have the chance to make their mark and connect. If successful and extended beyond the initial 6-episode season, Saturday Night Live UK could become the much-needed bridge between social media or small comedy clubs to the prestigious slots on British television. They could finally be filled by a diverse and more representative cohort than traditional avenues have historically allowed.
Maybelline's new Super Stay Longwear liquid lip color goes on like a dream. I better look in the mirror and make sure I didn't miss any spots. Wow, you look great, Jennifer Coolidge. Really? Me?
Saturday Night Live UK has the potential to catapult the careers of its comedians, but the cast faces a tough climb to reach to that point. British audiences are not like their US counterparts, who tend to root for others and are optimistic. In the UK, viewers tend to adopt a guilty until proven innocent mindset, expecting comedians to pass the test of making them laugh rather than being simply open to entertainment. From the start, the SNL cast has been met with scepticism. As they haven't proved themselves on screen before, some viewers are almost gleefully ready to watch them fail. Culturally, Britain seems to have tall poppy syndrome, where those who have achieved highly are criticised, resented, and cut down to a more equal level. Take James Corden, for example. Once the fun underdog of the sitcom Gavin and Stacey, he faced national resentment when he found success in the US with The Late Late Show, as if some audience members believed his fame was owed to them. The SNL cast faces a similar uphill struggle before being embraced by the public. Being unknown can actually work in their favour. If they succeed, their credibility will feel earned, but scrutiny will be intense. And not everyone will make it past the test. Unfortunately, the performers also face a practical challenge. The series will air on Sky, a paid-for subscription service, so viewership is limited from the outset. Without a membership, audiences will be unable to watch the full programme and will instead likely encounter isolated clips on social media, lacking the wider context of the show and accompanied by vocal comment sections. It's a bold gamble to launch a new comedy series, one that has been hugely successful in the US for more than 50 years, with entirely fresh faces on a platform that not every household can access. Sky announcing Saturday Night Live UK with a cast of relatively unknown names is a rare and exciting move in British comedy. For comedy fans, it could be the chance to discover new favourites and laugh like never before. For the cast themselves, it represents a genuine make-or-break opportunity to secure their careers and perform for live audiences, something unavailable on any other British TV series. For future comedians, SNL UK could act as a new pipeline, promoting the very best to the cast from all walks of life, backgrounds and income brackets, helping to break the cycle of British television, favouring performers based solely on which university they attended at age 18. Audiences, however, need to recognise the stakes and approach the new show with patience and kindness, giving performers the chance to find their feet. Not every sketch will land, and the cast aren't highly experienced, but that's okay. Will audiences embrace a completely unknown cast or refuse to warm to them? Either way, SNL UK has the potential to launch new careers and shake up the British comedy scene for good.